All right. All right. I'm guessing that this is a live. This is working through. This is me working with. Okay. This is me working with not StreamYard, OBS, which is my general tool of destruction. So I wanted to do some practice here, guys. This is kind of me fleshing out some of the issues that may happen if I decide to do a live in the future. Generally speaking, you guys know I cover a lot of topics, but when I do lives, generally speaking, well, I guess we can talk about a lot of different things, but for today at least, for today, yeah, so guys, I want to do a quick live stream before BGS goes live. And I thought I have about 10 minutes or so. I'm definitely not going to step on BGS toes. Absolutely not. But first of all, I wanted to figure out how to do this through StreamYards. And so the only way to do it is to test it. So we'll test it on Captain Solo. I'm sorry, it's stupid Star Wars jokes. But I want to take about 10 minutes and maybe talk through some one of the reasons why I actually chose to start studying Chinese. I wanted to flesh it out maybe through a systematic way, because I think a lot of people think that Western Asian or Eastern Asian languages are extremely difficult, which they are. StreamYard Plus is better, possibly. But I like this setup. I like to have more control in OBS because OBS has a lot of the features that I'm very familiar with. But I want to kind of I guess if you guys have any questions, you can throw them down there. I got a timer pretty much to make sure that I definitely do not step on BGS toes, because I want to watch a stream as well, and I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, that Dr. Marifa is going to come up. So I'm going to probably wrap this up in about 10 minutes. But yeah, happy Friday, guys. But I take a couple seconds. You guys probably think that there's Chinese and Japanese are extremely difficult, but it's not as difficult as you think. One of the reasons why I actually like the languages is because if you're good at pictures, like if you're a visual learner, I think it'd be dope if you go live and practice either Japanese. Whoa. Oh, see, going live said that adds another level of complexity in that I'm going to have to figure out how to do the add other people to OBS lives, which again is work in progress. Yeah, I like StreamYard plus OBS together. Interesting. But what I was gonna say is that I guess I can't use Japanese because you guys don't understand Japanese. Oh man, you want to hear some? 今日もう天気すごく大変だからもう雨いっぱい降りおけん。もうテニス休んだし, right? That's what it sounds like. I like the intro of the Japanese course. Oh, all right. Yeah, Japanese is, I would definitely say that after studying Chinese for a year and a half, I would definitely say that Japanese is harder. There was a time when I kind of thought that people would come up to me in Japan and say, Japan is so difficult. Japanese is so difficult. We have 3 ways of writing. And I would say, well, all languages are difficult. But learning Japanese is just on a different level, man. It's just got a lot of caveats to it. But the reason why I have this pictogram up here is because I wanted to show you guys kind of like the reason why I think learning these languages are so simple, right? So you see the first line here, it says telephone, right? The Japanese line, of course, that's what you're going to see when you go to Japan. But the simplified Chinese line, that's what you're going to see if you go to Taiwan. So anytime you hear like the difference between Cantonese and Mandarin, I'm sorry, simplified, my bad, I'm wrong. This is mainland China. Simplified Chinese is, they made it simple so that the 1.4 billion people in the country that are using it can use a unified, simplified language. If you go to Taiwan, that's where you'll see the traditional Japanese, which is probably the most complex of all of 3. But from what I understand, is pretty much read the same way simplified Chinese and Japanese. Simplified and traditional. So I could give an example, right? So this first line says denwa, right? That means electric talk. The first kanji means electricity. The second kanji means talk. And if you look at the Chinese, the simplified Chinese, same thing. Electricity and tongue, speaking. Same with traditional Chinese. So if you can put simple ideas together like, oh, electricity and talking, that's a telephone. Then you start putting those kinds of ideas together, right? So here's another one. So the first kanji is people. So nin. And this, the second kanji is ki, which means air. And so ninki means popular. I'm going to try, I think I got this right, is in Japanese, Chinese is pronounced re. Re is for person. I forgot the key. Key is not key, but it means the same thing. The third line that says holdai. So whole means release and topic. So tabe holdai means all you can eat, right? The middle one is simplified Chinese. And I cannot pronounce that one. Sorry, guys. I'm still learning. But again, oh, this is a really good one. Kekkon. So that means marriage. You see that, right? Kekkon means tie, and kon means like love or marriage or relationship, right? So tied together relationship. And I should know this in Chinese is, gosh, I just studied Jude. I forgot it. But you can see there's the kanji, it's almost the same. The only difference is that you have to learn the pronunciation difference, right? And so that's one of the things that really got me into wanting to just transition to Chinese, besides the fact that they have the bleeping largest economy in the world and probably, give it 5 years. You can see weather. That means tin means the sky. Ki means before like air. Tenki, like air, the weather. There it is right there. It's really very straightforward, really. So that's one of the reasons why when you see me talking about guys learning languages is that one of the really big keys to learning a language is that you don't really understand the people there until you understand the language. And so I think that is really important for guys. When you think about going overseas, you should really invest heavily in just studying, because once you start getting an understanding for why and how they function in the language, it'll give you a look into how people are. One of the things you can really see from like Japanese language is that Japanese language is very compartmentalized. So they don't do a cursive. Like each letter is its own letter. So in a way, what they're saying is each idea goes in its own place. And it's the same way when you deal with people, that people believe that you should have people belong in spots. There's someone that's the manager, there's someone that's the sub-manager, there's someone that's the worker, and every person belongs in their spot. And if you get a good idea of how the language works, then you really get an idea of how the country and the people in the country work. So that said, any questions in the chat, I'll answer a couple of questions before I get out of here, but I wanted to talk about, it's a relatively dry topic, but I'm going to be studying for my Chinese class while I'm listening to BGS's live anyway. So I wanted to test this out, and I'm brainstorming a bit. So with that said, I'll give you guys a few more minutes. Yeah. I'm playing around with the live. I mean, I know. Look, Andre, listen. It's one of the fascinating things about learning Chinese and Japanese is that they're essentially talking with pictures. And it's so fascinating because you can really get an idea. It's a lot like if you studied roots, like a Latin and Greek roots in language class, maybe if you study for the SAT or whatnot, and you see like the word like geo means earth, and you say geothermal and geography. You see all these words with geo, and you think, oh, those words have a connection. And that's exactly what happens in Chinese and Japanese, except they just get straight to the point. You can see the kanji, the lettering right up front. And so it saves a lot of the guesswork in that, in what you're looking at. Hey, salute to BGS. BGS, I'm not going to be up here much longer because I don't hear you live. But I wanted to... oh, yeah, okay, so I can see... Oh, my gosh. BGS doesn't have a wrench. Oh, my gosh. How do I do that? Can I do that here? Okay. Gosh, this is bad manners. I'm sorry. But yeah. I want to kind of play with this, and you know, I think a lot of guys think about going to Japan, and it's funny because we were just talking about this in class with Theo. You cannot understand Japan if you don't understand the language. You gotta put in the work and understand the language. You understand the language, you understand the country. It's just a fascinating language. It really is. You see the little two legs, that means a person. You see look at transportation, right? That coal, that means like interchange, and tsu means like go through. So interchange, go through, koutsu. And in Chinese, I should be able to read it. It's something song. I forgot it. But you can see the ideas translate. They just pronounce it differently. And it's really cool. It's really cool to see how the language works if you put in the work. So that said, it's kind of, Japan's a pretty cool place to visit. But I will say that I'll say this about Japan before I get off of here. There are a lot of people that come here and they only understand Japan on a surface level, not only because they don't learn the language, but because they don't invest more into just getting girls. Because you can get like certain girls, you go to certain bars, they're going to be there and you're going to think you're living the life. But you make a couple of mentor friends and then they take you to some places where you can't get in otherwise. And you see some pretty cool stuff. And I've seen some pretty cool stuff in this country. Stuff that I will not speak about in public. But yeah. You put in the work, meet some people, and you learn the language, and then your country's just going to open up for you. So with that said, I know BJS is about to rear up, so I think I'll consider doing another live. I need to do a live I haven't done a live on my Discord in a while. If I get a Sunday off, I'm going to consider it, but yeah. Appreciate you guys showing up. Thanks for sticking through my test run and working out some of the bugs. And with that, I guess I will catch you on BJS Live because that is where I am headed. All right, guys. See you later. I will, Andre. I will. I'm just not sure when. I like to filter my stuff because once it's out there forever. So I like to triple check my videos before I release them. That's why I don't really do lives. But anyways, catch you on BJ stream, guys. See you later.